So should you move to Ammon, Idaho or Idaho Falls, Idaho? Is there even a difference? Well, they are both in eastern Idaho and they border up to each other. They're literally across the street from one another, but there are some key differences. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 different things between Ammon, Idaho and Idaho Falls, Idaho. You ready? Let's get started. What's up, guys? My name is Annika Wilder. I'm a local realtor here in the eastern Idaho area. If you're thinking about moving here next week or next year, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And if you're new to my channel and you want to know all there is to know about life in Idaho Falls, I put out a video every single week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell and you won't miss a beat. All right, let's get started. Number 1. I want to first talk about location and proximity, and this one is just going to be so much easier to show you rather than tell you, so check this out. This is Ammon. This is Idaho Falls. So as you can tell, it's right across the street from one another. It's a very noisy intersection, but this is 25th East, so that area is Ammon, and then over here is Idaho Falls. This is just one of the boundaries of the two cities. That's how close they are, and that's how similar they are. This is a very new part of town. There's a lot of newer buildings. There's a new Brazilian grill down here. This is, on this side is where Chick-fil-A and Kohl's and Target is. Over here is Brolim's. And if you can't tell, there's the mountains over there. As you can tell, Ammon and Idaho Falls literally share a street. They're right across the street from one another. And so they're generally the same place. A lot of people use Ammon and Idaho Falls interchangeably because they don't actually know exactly where the boundaries are. So I want to show you that as well. Check out this map. Ammon is this area. It's a lot smaller boundaries. It's a smaller city. It kind of has interesting boundaries where it's not very cut in stone exactly where it is. You might not even realize when you're driving that you're in Ammon or just Bonneville County boundaries versus Idaho Falls. But in this map, it'll show you that Ammon is just smaller, surrounded by Idaho Falls and the rest of the county. Now here are the Idaho Falls boundaries. As you can tell, Idaho Falls is much larger. And so, but they are right next to each other. They run into each other. They're both surrounded by Bonneville County. So very similar in regards to proximity, which brings me to number 2, population. As you could tell from those boundaries that I showed you, Idaho Falls is much larger. So Idaho Falls right now has about 67,000 people, and it's growing. It's the largest city in eastern Idaho. It's the second largest city in all of Idaho, in the state of Idaho in general. Ammon, on the other hand, has a population of about 18,000. And with those small boundaries, I'm not sure if it's going to grow as much as Idaho Falls is in regards to population. However, there are more and more homes and subdivisions being developed in Ammon every single day. Which brings me to number 3. Let's talk about the community and the differences of amenities and recreation and things to do in Idaho Falls versus in Ammon. So Idaho Falls has the Riverwalk and the museum and all the cute historic downtown features that people go to. This is where you can go to really see the sights of what Idaho Falls has to offer. You could go see the waterfalls, the Japanese friendship gardens. The museum is absolutely incredible. There are several golf courses in Idaho Falls. So there's a lot more to do in Idaho Falls because that's the older part of town. It has a lot of houses, a lot of subdivisions, communities, but most of the urban side of eastern Idaho, or this general region, is going to be in the Idaho Falls boundaries. That includes hospitals and playgrounds and major shopping areas like the mall. And so there is a big difference in regards to what Idaho Falls has to offer versus what Ammon has to offer. However, Ammon, as you could tell from that video I showed earlier, Ammon also has a lot of shopping. It has Brolim's, which is my favorite grocery store. It has Target, Kohl's, the movie theater, and other parks like McCowan Park, one of my favorite parks, home of Ammon Days. And Ammon also has its own farmers market. Yes, Idaho Falls has the Riverwalk and all the downtown historical fun features, including the Saturday farmers market, but Ammon is kind of creeping up there in regards to providing fun community events for people. Ammon Days is one of my favorite events of the year because there's hot air balloons and fireworks and vendors and free activities for kids. And then McCowan Park has a splash pad, whereas as far as I know, there's not a splash pad in Idaho Falls that's attached to a public area. So Ammon has different things to offer than Idaho Falls. Let's go back and talk about the location because this plays a role in what the community is like in Ammon versus Idaho Falls. In Ammon, you have the mountain views. In fact, I'm facing Ammon right now out my window and I can see the mountain range, which is beautiful. Now, part of the mountains are just considered Bonneville County boundaries, but Ammon, a lot of these subdivisions get to view the mountains. Whereas if you're more on the west side or south side of town, you might not see as much of this mountain view as you would in Ammon. And so a lot of people prefer to be in that area just for the more scenic neighborhoods. However, Idaho Falls has the river and Gem Lake and the waterfalls and historic downtown. So it just depends on what you find is a priority. Would you rather go downtown for the cute coffee shops or go to City Bagels and have that historic feel and be right on the river? Or would you rather be more in a rural part that's more of a residential community with mountain views? Number 4, let's talk about the cost of living, because this is what I do. And this is a hard question to answer because I think utilities are less in Idaho Falls just because of the way they kind of rope them together. You've got 2 utility bills in Idaho Falls. You've got the City of Idaho Falls bill, which is your water, garbage, sewer, and electricity, and then you have your gas bill. Whereas in Ammon, they've separated all of them. Every utility is a different company. Some neighborhoods, depending on where you are, there are some combination, and the city does combine a few of them. But in regards to utilities, it seems like, and I could be wrong, but I've heard mixed reviews on this, but it seems like Ammon utilities are slightly higher than Idaho Falls utilities. With that said, some data shows us that Ammon housing is less expensive for just the house in Ammon. In Idaho Falls, the house is more expensive, but taxes are less in Idaho Falls. I'm talking about property taxes, and Ammon property taxes are higher. So it's really hard to say Ammon's cheaper, Idaho Falls cheaper. They're so comparable, they're so close. But maybe this will also help. I'm going to show you a couple of homes that are built by the same builder. So this is a Fall Creek home in Ammon, and it's listed at this price. This is a Fall Creek home in Idaho Falls. Can you see the difference? They're the exact same home or very similar style home, the same builder, very similar square footage, yet there is a difference in price. And it is more expensive in Ammon because of the lot, that subdivision in the villas is more expensive than in this area south of town in the South Point and Park Place subdivisions. Now check this out. Rockwell Homes also builds a lot of homes out here in eastern Idaho. Now this home is in the Crestwood Hills subdivision in Ammon, listed at $420,000. It's only been on the market for 4 days. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home with an unfinished basement. This home, however, is also built by Rockwell, very similar square footage, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, unfinished basement, also on the market for 4 days, but it's listed at $440,000. So very similar. Yes, it might not be the exact same model, but it's the same builder, similar square footage, yet there's a difference in the price by $20,000. So when people ask me what's better, Ammon or Idaho, it just depends, and sometimes you won't know until we get out there and look at homes, look at the taxes, calculate some costs, and see what's best for you. Last but not least, number 5, schools. Idaho Falls is home to District 91, which is Idaho Falls High School, Skyline High School, Sunnyside Elementary School, Taylorville Middle School. These are the older schools in town, but they've been more established and they're very centrally located around a lot of popular neighborhoods in Idaho Falls. Ammon is home to District 93. This is Bonneville High School, this is Thunder Ridge, this is Hillcrest. These are the newer schools in the area, and some people feel like the newer schools means better. That's not always true. It just depends on what you're looking for in school programs, teachers, size of class, and that just depends on your own research when you come out here to shop schools. I'm not the best help with this because my kids are homeschooled. They go to a homeschool co-op, which is a totally different experience than public school. I personally have not heard anything terrible about our schools. I also haven't heard anything like they're the most amazing schools in all of the country. I don't think that's true, but I think they fall somewhere in the middle. They're good schools, and I hear people are having great experiences. So it really just depends on where you want to live and taking the time to tour the neighborhoods, tour the schools, and interview the people that can help you get there. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If I missed anything or you have any additional questions about Eastern Idaho in general, feel free to comment below or send me a text. All my information is in my YouTube channel in the description. And I'll also post it here so that you have easy access to my phone number. When you text or call, I really do answer, and I'll be happy to help answer any other questions that you might have. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye.